Okay, Max here, and time for some breaking news. Well, this is kind of odd. I've been covering this Luke Skywalker from the Book of Mandalorian, episode 6 or season 3. Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett, um, episode 6. And how I like the CGI Luke, but it still felt off to me. And I kept saying the voice does not, it just feel doesn't. What the hell's going on with my? Can you see me? All right. So how it feels off, and then I'm doing research for our pal Eddie's birthday party stream. I'm finding some movie topics to talk about, and I was like, oh man. And this is a very, very hot topic. Breaking news. I don't know if a lot of people know about this yet. So do I have my clickbait title? Mark is replaced. He's replaced. I don't think Mark has anything to do with this upcoming series. We already know that it's scans from him in the past, and now we're from this article, it's not it's voice clips from his past too when he did an audiobook back in the day. So you're not getting a great performance because it's not Mark in context with the story. It's images of him, clips of him for the CGI, for the deep fake, and it's clips of his audio from a book on tape back in the day, all clipped together and pushed through an algorithm computer voice. Now that you know this, is this still what you want? Because this sets a precedent. If Disney could get away with doing this stuff, and I'm not against Disney anymore, I'm not, but if Disney could get away with this in the future, you're going to have a lot of um, generic performances. Generic performances just because it's in their virtual and audio library for characters. Now, I also think that George Lucas had something to do with this. I absolutely do. When he signed Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford to contracts, I think George Lucas is forward thinking, and I think he signed them up for whole likenesses and everything. Um, and I got to research now with Mark Hamill if he's commented on this appearance yet. Maybe I should say Mark Hamill's response to the do real clickbait title. Mark Hamill's reaction uh, to fans liking his appearance in Book of Boba Fett. What does he have to say? Now I have to search this out. I got to check his Twitter, and I'm going to work on this story. But let's get to the article for the receipts. Yes, I have the receipts here. Why Luke Skywalker's, this is from Slash Film, why Luke Skywalker's voice sounds so weird in the Book of Boba Fett. There have been some dubious decisions in the making of the Book of the Boba Fett, and now we have another to add to the list using artificial intelligence to recreate Mark Hamill's voice as young Luke in Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. Now, I just did a whole topic on this with my friend Justin. Do you prefer CGI Luke or Sebastian Stan? Now that you know this and that he is actually replaced with the artificial computer with clips of his audio, are you still going to pick this? And do you, knowing Disney, what they're going to potentially do in the future with likenesses of characters, are we in for a lot of generic and wooden performances because it's a computer algorithm using visual information and audio information from that actor? You're still getting that actor, but no context, nuance, performance, and subtleties that you get in a real performance. Does this change your mind? I want to know. It changes mine completely. I was already leaning till I want Sebastian Stan. Now that I know this, I want to know what Mark has to say about it. I'm sure he knew about it. I mean, unless the contractors, they don't even have to ask questions. He signed his likeness away. I don't know what Mark signed, and if George is pushing the contract, oh George, I don't know. This is really weird. Okay, let me get back to the article here. Well, the visual effects used to create, let me get a young version of the actor are significantly better than those in The Mandalorian. And I still think there's a lot of hurdles to this technology. I really think that the stand in body double has to have a very wiry frame, and the actor or actress has to be really skinny for this to work, and not a lot of action motion. Um, the Mandalorian season 2 Luke's lines had an odd flatness to them that steers us right back to into the uncanny valley. But it's not the fault of a bad voice actor. It's because there is no voice actor. Whenever Luke speaks in the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, not you, Callie, or the Book of Boba Fett, it's actually a computer piecing together speech using an algorithm and archival recordings of Hamill's voice from when he was around the age that Luke is in the Disney Plus shows. I just have one question: why? Now that is, I'm very intrigued in this article now, and if you want to check out the full article, it's in the description below. I'm very intrigued as why they would do this when Mark Hamill is available. I think they're testing to see what they could get away with. And you know what? The audience is eating this up. So guess what? You're going to get actors and actresses likenesses sold off that are cheaper than getting new talent. Less risk with Alden Ehrenreich as Han when you could just use, hey, they tried Alden first. I do you think that there's going to be any backlash when people get the whole story on this? Or do you think people just going to eat it up? I'm very curious to hear reactions, and I cannot wait to talk to my friends on MME about this. All right. So the technology behind recreating Hamill's voice for young Luke was first revealed last year, and it's pretty creepy. The voice was completely synthesized using an application called Respeecher. Matthew Wood, a sound editor on the franchise, explained how the program worked in the Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian feature out in Disney Plus. It's a neural network you feed information into and it learns. So I had an archival material from Mark in that era. We had cleaned recorded ADR from the original films, a book on tape he done from those eras, and then also Star Wars radio plays he had done back in that time. I was able to get clean recordings of that, feed it in the system, and they were able to slice it up and feed their neural network to learn this data. Wow. Okay. All right. Instead of hiring Hamill to record new dialogue and using some digital trickery to bring up the pitch and remove a bit of the gravel, the folks at Lucasfilm digitally created new lines of dialogue like the world's most complicated speak and spell. Maybe Hamill just didn't have the time, though he does have plenty of other voice work. Now, do you believe that? I don't think they were too concerned about getting Mark. I honestly don't. And from his from what he did with The Last Jedi, I know if they have the rights to his digital likeness and audio, I'm telling you what, Disney, I think, would choose the artificial version, especially because he's going to speak his mind of what he thinks of each project that revolves around his character. So Mark is still on the sidelines when he is a very proficient voice actor. Wow. It's also possible Disney is using the Book of Boba Fett as an opportunity to refine its use of digital voice cloning technologies like Respeecher with long-term goal of making voice actors entirely optional. It ends with thunderous applause. This is the future. The future is now. Oh my God. The big problem with the delivery in the Book of Boba Fett episode is inflection. Digital Luke sounds like Hamill serves the early 1980s, but voice inflections and emotions are missing. Questions don't really sound like questions. Excitement isn't conveyed at all. Even though his vocal tone and pronunciation is dead on to the point it enters the uncanny valley and becomes unsettling. The lack of inflection means that it never emerges from the other side of the valley and becomes truly convincing. The fake vocal work was fine on The Mandalorian, where Luke only spoke a line or two before the credits rolled. In the Book of Boba Fett, however, he delivers entire monologues to his Padawan Grogu, and it sounds wrong. Given how much the visual effects have improved convincingly, creating a young Skywalker on screen at last until he opens his mouth. The voice cloning technology could definitely use some work before young Luke shows up in the Star Wars universe again. Or, they could just hire the voice actor instead. I don't know. Maybe you guys think this is nothing. This is something to me very intriguing, opens up a lot of discussions. So tune in to MME where we cover this later. And I now, you know how I criticize Jeremy, and he's very concerned about Halo. This gets me very, very concerned. Very concerned. I'll see you later. Bye.